On today's show, the 10-minute one-line email that generates leads and goodwill. Part of this week's series, Easy Marketing for Instant Results, with award-winning marketer and business growth strategist, Jeremiah Desmarais. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to Backroom Technician in Innsmouth. Let's get down to business. Well, welcome to the show, Jeremiah.
Thank you, Steve.
Before we get started, Jeremiah is going to be giving an offering every day this week on whatever topic. What are we giving away today?
So today we're going to send everybody a complimentary email marketing blueprint. And Steve, we really wanted to do this because we appreciate what you're doing for the community and want to support you in that. And to get that, all you have to do is go to agencygrowthacademy.com/Steve. agencygrowthacademy.com/Steve.
Well, I have to tell you, your title is kind of carry the show here today. 10 minutes, one-line emails that generate leads. I mean, the goodwill I could kind of see, but actual leads. Talk to me about this. And you've been doing this now for a long time.
Yeah, well, first I want to congratulate you for saying my name right. Thank you, I appreciate that. So I've been privileged enough to be working in this industry, financial and insurance services, for over 10 years. And I've made a ton of mistakes using digital marketing. I remember I got started with a small technology company in the insurance space and having to be responsible for all the marketing and having zero budget. So I've always been a really big fan of anything that doesn't cost a lot of money and can get an instant result so that you can eat, basically.
Well, when I'm thinking about this, you're with the next generation. You're right behind us coming up with, we invented all the things on the internet. We just don't know how to use it, right? And now we're talking about marketing that could impact our business, really build out our practice. I mean, to me, that's a really important issue. When I'm thinking about generating leads, which ones comes first? So I have to actually generate the goodwill first, or do I have to generate the lead to get the goodwill?
Well, that's the thing. I think that as an advisor, you know that you have a lot of goodwill that you've generated over the course of years. And whether you've been buying leads, whether you've been meeting with people at networking events, or you've simply collected a database of connections, even on LinkedIn, you already have a lot of goodwill. The biggest mistake I see, though, is that most advisors don't know how to tap into that goodwill. So what I wanted to do today is share some of those strategies on how to do that. And really, maintaining goodwill is a matter of staying in front of the person, isn't it? You know, most of the times we buy a lead and maybe 1 out of 5 leads doesn't work and we say, oh man, leads are garbage. But what we don't know is about 72% of all the leads that you buy will end up buying from somebody who ends up following up with them on a regular basis. And that follow-up process is the process of building goodwill.
Now, let's talk about the first strategy then. What's the first one I need to do that I can actually do? And in your line, I love it. One line. I love one-liners.
Yeah, okay. So this is a really cool strategy that we borrowed from another industry and applied it to the financial services world and the insurance world. And it's really simple, Steve. In fact, I hope we can fill up this whole show with other things to show why this one-line email is good, because it's so short. So first, you have to understand, why does this email work so well? So if you take a look at your inbox, right? So maybe you want to pause this video, jump over to the inbox and take a look at it. You'll see that most of the emails that come through, probably 80 or 90% of them, are written in a broadcast style, right? So it's one person speaking to many people. And when you look at those emails, your mind psychologically sifts through those and looks for the real emails. It's almost like the old analogy that comes from direct response, right? Where everyone has an A pile and a B pile. And when you get home at the end of the day, you grab your mail, and the A pile is the ones that are personally written. We don't get a lot of mail these days, unfortunately, personal mail. But you take the A pile and you put it down, you say, I'm going to read that one. And you take it, this is a bill. This is a spam, this is a marketing letter, this is an advertisement, and the B pile all ends up in the trash. Well, the same thing happens, we just simply have translated that in the digital world, that in our inbox we have an A pile and we have a B pile. And guess what ends up in the B pile? Anything that seems markety, anything that seems like it's broadcast, and anything that seems like it's an overt advertisement. The problem, though, is that we've come from a culture where that's typically how we've learned to speak to people online. We used to send out broadcast letters in financial services. We're used to sending out these little impersonal postcards to drive people to a plate liquor dinner or whatever we want to call them, although a lot of them really work. The problem, though, is that we haven't learned how to translate the personal letter that's handwritten into an email. So in the minds of your prospects and even the people that you've spoken to in the past, when they see an email that the subject line looks like it was written by a human being, right, and not a marketer, and when they open it up and it looks like it was sent from somebody's Gmail account or from somebody's AOL account or it's from somebody's Outlook account, those triggers get fired off in their mind that, oh, okay, this is from a real person. This is somebody who took the time to write something to me, and obviously I'm going to either assess whether there's a need or I have a need or want to talk to this person, and then I'm going to make a decision whether I'm going to reach out to them. So that's kind of transferred. Although you're right, you've invented a lot of the stuff, it's knowing how to use it that's going to make the difference to build that goodwill.
Well, I find it difficult. I mean, when I came into your world about 4 years ago of tweets, blogs, small, pithy paragraphs, getting to the point, I thought I needed time to explain myself. But really what you're saying is people are psychologically, in their subconscious, making a decision on what's the key issue here. I might as well just get to it.
Right. Well, think about the emails that you sent me inviting me to the show. I mean, you didn't even use my first name in the email. You're like, Jeremiah, you're like, what time are you going to get here? Or do you know have you ever been in front of a camera? It was so personal, we did not even put the first name in there. I didn't write, hi, Steve, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. It was like bam, 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 right? And the reason why we resort to that is we have to process so much information these days that the niceties that have come from the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s world of direct response have been eliminated. And now it's perfectly acceptable, even in a business environment, to ask people straight questions and only use one line if that's all you wanted to find out, is to just ask you that one line. The other thing, Steve, that a lot of people don't realize, people appreciate it when you get to the point. Because we're just trying to sift through so much information these days that if you can get to the point right away, people appreciate you for that.
Well, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. When we come back, we're going to talk to Jeremiah more about these one-liners, these 10-minute ideas that can really set your communication apart from the rest of your competitors. We'll be right back. It's not how much money you make for your clients, it's how much money they get to keep, especially in retirement. But retirement income could cause Social Security benefits to be taxed. One tax advantage alternative is life insurance designed as a non-modified endowment contract that can generate tax-free income without taxing Social Security benefits. These contracts offer differing funding options depending upon your client's risk tolerance. For more information on how life insurance can be part of your retirement planning, just email me at steve@downtobusiness.tv. Brought to you by Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Well, welcome back to the second segment. Of course, Jeremiah, you're going to walk us through now. Kind of here's what we used to do. You're going to tell us that actually less is more. Walk me through how this process works. It seems pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have an example here. This is the kind of email that most of us send, right? This is, for example, a typical agent who's writing to follow up about a group benefits plan, right? He was in there, he talked to the CEO, the CFO, a week's gone by. So, the agent's sitting down there and he's thinking, okay, how do I write a cool email that will get them to reply and get their attention and help me seal the deal? All right, well, typically, it's really simple. Hi, John. First we start out with niceties, of course. I hope this finds you doing well. I'm following up on our conversation from 3 weeks ago, right? We're trying to go back in time to see how your evaluation process is going with your group benefits plan, right? I'm checking in, I'm being the nice guy. The last time we met, we reviewed your needs as being, need number one, need number two, kind of doing that very good consultative sales process and trying to put it all in an email. This is a very boring email, I know, and I'm writing this down here because I know you won't even read it. Now, of course, I'm just putting it down there to be facetious, but you get the idea, right? When you get a long email, what goes through your mind? I don't have time for this, right? So, Steve, this is the typical email that most insurance agents, I've been guilty of sending out emails like that. Maybe you have as well, I'm not sure.
Well, I'm thinking my audience right now is sitting there watching this, Jeremiah, and going, that is not that long.
Right.
And you're already telling me it's too long.
Right.
But another thing you're saying that I don't need to it sounds like what I just heard is I don't need to redux the past on this.
Right.
I need to get to the present.
Yeah, to get to the point. Okay, so before I show you this one-line email strategy, I want to show you how well it actually works. Now, I want you to notice the timestamp here. I gave this strategy, which I'm going to show you here in just a minute. I gave the same strategy to an advisor who specializes in small group benefits, commercial lines, and also some individual. And I gave her the strategy at 9:30 in the morning. Now, her and I texted back and forth because I was making sure that she did it right. And 11:53 a.m. this comes in. Please stop the madness. Can't keep up with the constant flow of responses. Ah, shucks, sure I can. Hee hee. I write back, that's awesome. It's a lead factory. You're the heart of the operation. Crazy. More requests came in. I can't believe what a one-liner did. So you notice the timestamp difference is less than 3 hours from the time she sent out this email you're going to get and the time she started getting results. And then I said, well, the next day I said, well, how did it go? You know, I mean, you got a lot of emails, but did you actually get any sales? So she said, yeah, I actually just got 8 sales. I said, what? She said, yeah, I got 8 sales. I actually have all the folders here on my desk. So I said, go do me a favor, take a picture with your smartphone, because I'd love to keep that for my archives. Basically, these 8 sales were worth $8,000 in commission to her from sending a one-line email. So Steve, I wanted to show this to everyone just so they know that this actually works. We had another woman who specializes in commercial lines, for example. She sent this out in a business-to-business market. So maybe you sell in a business-to-business environment. It also works. She got 2 $50,000 commission deals in 20 minutes. We did it with another advisor who sent it out to his list. He specializes in a certain type of retirement plan in the education field in the West Coast. He generated 45 leads in less than 8 hours. So this strategy works. This particular advisor here got 324 leads in less than 24 hours. And then within a period of 2 weeks, she got $20,000 in commissions from just that one-line email.
Now, it sounded to me, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounded like you were a little surprised.
I was, because I knew it worked, but I didn't know how well it would work in her, because she uses a very unique kind of insurance. I wasn't sure how it was going to work. But what I've seen is time and time again, Steve, this strategy works over and over and over again. It doesn't matter if you're talking to businesses, individuals, or what product you're selling.
Well, show us. Give us an example.
So this is the simple one-line email. Now notice there's a few elements that you must have in here. The first one is the subject line is only the first name of the prospect. Okay, only the first name. The reason is the most important word in the English language is always your own personal name. So if I keep saying, Steve, how are you? Steve, did you do this? Steve, what time should we be going out? Steve, are we going to dinner? Your brain keeps firing because it loves and knows the name Steve for years. And so in the minds of the prospect, if you keep your subject line really short and you use something very relevant, they're going to open that email, right? If you just see an email that says Steve and that's the only thing in the subject line, what's going through your head?
Yeah, I'm thinking, wow, I'm opening it.
Yeah, let me open this. Who's talking to me? Now, just a quick tip, for those of you who use MailChimp, MailChimp will not do that feature where you can just auto-merge that first name. So instead, use this subject line, which works really well, quick question. Now, when you write that out, make sure that the Q's are all lowercase. It looks like you shot it out of your phone, right? Don't capitalize it, because then it looks more markety, right? It looks like a piece of advertisement. So make sure you keep it lowercase. All right, here's the body of the email. It's really simple, Steve. Hi, John. Again, you just repeat the name. Do you still need help with your... Now, for here, we just have group benefits as a placeholder because you could put investments, insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, whatever is the core product that you end up selling, you can put that directly here. So do you still need help with your insurance? Do you still need help with your Medicare? Do you still need help with your investments? Do you still need help with your retirement plan? You get the idea. And it's very important that this piece right here is the regular signature line that you use in your email. So whenever you send an email to a friend, whatever that signature block is, copy and paste it in your email service provider, whether you use Constant Contact or MailChimp or GetResponse or Aweber. All those softwares can just simply create a little template. You form field in the first name. Here's another little quick tip I want to give is that if you are going to use, like take your whole list and load it into Constant Contact, for example, you know how Constant Contact always puts a little piece of marketing under here, Steve? Yeah, you don't want people to see that because then they realize, oh, wait a minute, this is a group email.
Gotcha.
So what you have to do is you put about 30 line breaks underneath, and after those 30 line breaks, that little piece of advertisement disappears, and your email, even though you might have sent it 1 to 1,000, reads like it was sent 1 to 1.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Remember, before moving forward with any of the ideas on the show, always consult your tax advisor, legal counsel, or your broker-dealer compliance officer. Missed an episode? Just hop out to our site, downtobusiness.ashbrokerage.com. Want to email me? steve@downtobusiness.tv. And remember, you could be wiser as an Ash Brokerage advisor. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you tomorrow.